Hey y'all, I'm Tiffany with Hilltop Tulips, and today we are going to be talking about seed starting. So I wanted to talk to you today about seed starting, and it's super exciting. This is when you start to get that taste of spring and start to look forward to the garden because you're getting everything ready that's going to be going in the garden. So this is an awesome time, and I want all you guys to be super excited. I don't want you to overthink things or basically psych yourself out. I am saying this because I've done this before. I researched for like 2 to 3 years before I ever planted anything because I was making things harder than they really were in my head. So I grew up with my dad gardening. We always had a huge garden, but I wasn't really hands-on, so I didn't really know like what went into it, and I just assumed it was complicated. So when I decided I wanted to try to plant something at my house, I Googled, I watched YouTube videos, like everything, I checked out books from the library and took notes. I had a whole notebook full of notes, and I never actually planted anything because I couldn't figure out what the right way was. There was lots of conflicting information. This is the right way or that's the right way, and some stuff just seemed too complicated, and I was like, I'm not doing that. So it took a long time for me to actually be like, okay, let me try it. So I was actually watching, I'm sure most of you probably already follow them, but over at Roots and Refuge, Jess was talking about like the only way to make sure that your seed does not grow is to not plant it. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to plant it and see what happens. After 3 years of researching, I'm going to look and see if I can stick the picture in here somewhere, because I know I was proud I took a picture of this. I planted 2 tomato plants in a container this big around, maybe this tall. I wouldn't plant anything but maybe flowers and herbs in it now. But I had 2 tomato plants in it. So all that research, and somehow I never came across the right size container. I don't know. I don't know why that's what I did. But I won't make that mistake again. And I had to actually try to plant something and fail. I actually got like 2 tomatoes off of that, which is pretty crazy considering it looked really bad, and it was in way too small of a pot. There was 2 in one pot. Like, everything was wrong, but I actually got a tomato. So the purpose of that story is I want you to know that the best way to get something done is the way that gets it done. There are tons and tons of different ways to start seeds. There are tons of different people that are going to tell you this is exactly how it's supposed to be done. You're not going to succeed unless you do it this way. There's tons of people that are going to tell you this is the right way. And then there's tons of people that are going to tell you things that are actually not very beneficial and probably wouldn't help you. But I'm telling you, try to plant something. If you don't have the sturdy containers from Bootstrap Farmer, or if you can't afford Pro Mix or $4 pack of Baker Creek seeds, it doesn't matter. I want you to plant something, and you're going to learn. You're going to gain experience. You're going to learn from your own mistakes and do better next year. So the only thing you absolutely have to seed start is going to be your seeds, your vessel that you're going to be growing your seeds in, and then some kind of growing medium. So let's talk about seeds first. Last year I did a whole inventory of all the seeds I was growing. I'm not doing that this year. Hopefully, if things go well, you're going to see them coming out of the garden. But there are many different places to get your seeds. And for example, I have my Baker Creek seeds here. This is one I'm really excited about. White Beauty or Snowball. I've never grown a white tomato before, so I'm going to try that. Baker Creek. I've got these from M.I. Gardener, and they're great. I love M.I. Gardener, so check out his website. But then, like, I grabbed this pack of banana peppers. Sorry, there's a glare. At Aldi. It's a grocery store. I needed banana peppers and I didn't order any. And I knew if I went to Baker Creek or In My Gardener, it was going to be a $30 order. And I saw them in the grocery store and grabbed them. I have some that were gifted to me even. Let me see. These are some of those. And I know they're this brand that some people don't like to support. But they were free seeds and I'm planting them. They were just given to me by my sweet sister-in-law, Cora. I hope you're watching, and she's planting her own, starting her own seeds this year too. So in the comments, tell her way to go. I found a new website called Dollar Seed. I ordered my loofah seeds from them because I couldn't find them anywhere else at the time, and I'm impatient. If I would have waited, they probably would have been available somewhere else. But I really like their customer service. They were quick. They actually gave me a free pack of seeds. I think it was lettuce. So they do kind of like Baker Creek with the free seeds, and they were $1. Can't beat that. And then I ran out of packets. These are Poblano seeds that I saved from a poblano pepper that I used cooking dinner one night. Now, I do know when you seed save, this is the best way to get your seeds cheaply, because you've already paid for the fruit or whatever it was that you're saving the seeds out of. The seeds are like a bonus. But do keep in mind that when you save seeds, unless you grew that seed and you were able to isolate the blossom and make sure there was no cross-pollination, it's possible that you won't get a poblano pepper. Like from this one, it came from I think it was actually in like a Blue Apron box, like a meal kit box. I don't know where it was grown. I don't know if it was near other peppers. So when it grows, I'm not gonna plan a whole meal around poblano peppers until I taste some and make sure they're not like super hot, or you know, they can cross. You're gonna get a pepper from this seed, but it's not guaranteed it's going to be a poblano. Many different places to get your seeds. Dollar Tree even. You can grab them at Dollar General when they go on sale. Just keep your eye out, and wherever you can get your hands on seeds, just get those. And it doesn't have to be expensive seeds. It doesn't have to be from a specific company. Just get them where you can, and don't feel bad about that. Now, your vessels. I'm using these guys. I've been using these for years, these same ones. They're flimsy, so I mean, if you're gentle with them, you can use them for a while. But you can use little yogurt cups, applesauce cups, takeout containers, anything you have that will hold your growing medium, you can use to grow seeds. You don't have to have the seed cells, the seed trays like this down here. You don't have to have the little seed cells. Just use what you have. Poke some holes in it, make sure there's drainage, and use that. Now your growing medium. I have a not fun story about that. I have always used potting soil. I don't even sift it. Apparently you're supposed to do that too. I never have. It makes sense. There's little chunks in my seed starts over here. But I've always just used potting soil, which apparently already has fertilizer in it. Oh, I'm in my office, you guys, and I really have an open bag of potting soil in my office. This is the one that I use. Just a little cheap bag from Lowe's. So, I've always used that. But last year I decided that, or I thought I was learning to do better, and decided to get seed starting mix specifically. Got my seed starting mix. I started on my plants. It's actually kind of hard to keep watered. It dries out really fast, but it's really loose and fine. So I mean, like, I guess it's good for root development. It's good for your seed starts, but I also didn't fertilize it. I didn't know that seed starting mix didn't have fertilizer already in it like potting mix does. until my tomatoes were almost dead. And they did not bounce back very well at all. I had a handful, and I had some that I was really, really excited about, so that crushed me. But keep in mind, the seed starting part is, if you mess up during that part, it's okay, because you can go buy starts from a local nursery, from your neighbor maybe who is starting seeds, if you know someone in your neighborhood or your area, and they have some extra seed starts. Or I mean, you can even, if you have to, go to the big box stores, you know, and buy seed starts there if you have to. So if you mess up, it'll be okay. You'll still have that learning experience. Like, I know now that seed starting mix does not have fertilizer in it. So this year I went back to my regular potting soil. So I'm going to show you guys how I start my seeds. This is just how I do it. Like I was saying, you will see tons of videos. Go on TikTok and YouTube, and there's a million different ways to start seeds. If you don't like the way I do it, don't do it that way. Find the way that you like, the way that works for you. Try your own things. If you're stubborn like me, someone can tell you something's not going to work, and you got to try it anyway, just to see if maybe you can make it work. My toxic trait. But I have my potting soil here in my bucket, and you have to sterilize it. You don't want to get like fungus gnats or anything like that. And you can do this either by putting it in the oven. I don't know why people do it that way, but people do, so do your own thing. Or you can just pour boiling hot water in here, which is what I do. When I'm ready to moisten it, get the water boiling, pour it in here, stir it around carefully. Please don't burn yourself and say Tiffany told you to do it. Stir it around really good and let it sit and cool down, and then you're ready to plant. It's sterilized. And I'm going to fill these little containers up. I have one already filled here, so I'm just going to take, forgive my setup, guys. We just bought a house. We're still unpacking and getting things situated, so I don't have a great setup right now. I sat in my office chair here in my office and started all those yesterday, pretty much on my lap or on my desk. So I'm making it work with what I got. That's what you guys need to do too. So I'm going to take my Sharpie and just stick it down in about 1/4 of an inch. And if I have any big chunks like this is why people sift it. If I have any big chunks, I'll either break them up or just kind of toss them to the side. But I'm going to go ahead and stick this down about 1/4 of an inch. You'll have your little, you can't see that, little holes in there. And then I'm going to drop my seeds in. Are these not the cutest thing ever? I'm trying to get the glare off. Spoon tomatoes. My little girl, Izzy, I'm sure y'all have seen her in other videos. She is just gonna eat these up. Probably literally just off the vine while they're outside. I don't know if any of these will even make it in the house. But I'm gonna drop 2 per cell. And the reason I do that is because if one of them doesn't grow, then I've still got a plant in that cell. And also, you can separate them out later, and you'll have, from this 6-cell tray, if they all grow, they all sprout and grow well, then I'll have 12 plants when I get ready to up pot, and I can gift those or sell those to neighbors to buy more seeds, because it's really an addiction. Lightly pack those in. You don't want to crush it down. And then we're just gonna stick it over here. Oh, I wanted to show you, I have these labels that came with some pots that I ordered. These regular labels here. But also, when I'm talking about gardening with what you have, I also have these that I use for plant markers. Does anybody want to guess what that is? That is a mini blind. the blinds on our back door at our old house, because it was constantly open and shut and slammed, they got tore up pretty quick. And when we replaced them, I took the old blinds down and I was like, that looks like a plant marker, doesn't it? So now I'm reusing, I've got them for days. I have these because they're cute. They came with some pots that I ordered, but I'm going to be using these until they're gone. Just reusing those old mini blinds. I don't think it looks super ratchet. You can kind of tell what it is. And that's all you're going to do. And I have these on a heat mat down here. Let me see if I can bring you guys in a little closer. Excuse my mess. So I have these on a heat mat down here. And things like your peppers really have to go on a heat mat. Your tomatoes, I say have to. But if you don't have a heat mat, I actually started peppers one year on top of my refrigerator because it's warm up there. You can start peppers without a heat mat, I'm sure. You may not have a ton of growth, but if you don't have a heat mat, stick them up on top of your refrigerator. Find a really warm room in your house, somewhere like that, and just try it if you're not going to be able to get a heat mat. These lights are actually shop lights that I got from Walmart. You can buy the expensive grow lights if you want to. You don't have to. If you want to start by a window, you can, but your seedlings may get leggy because they're going to be reaching for that light. The window filters the sunlight, and it really needs this direct light like this. But if you don't have the money to get a shop light, this 2-pack was only like $20. But if you don't have the money for that, that's fine. Stick it by a window and just keep rotating it, you know. And then, like with tomatoes, when you get ready to up pot them, you can actually plant them a lot deeper, and that'll help with some of that legginess. Anything is a learning experience, and you're never going to know until you try. So, thank you guys so much for watching the video today. I'm going to try to do better about posting regularly. Since we've moved, it's been really hard to get the feel of everything, and you guys don't want to watch me unpack and organize. That's really all I've been doing, working and cleaning and organizing. So I'm going to get back to doing my Instant Pot meals, my gardening videos. Thankfully, I'm so glad it's almost spring. It's actually February 18th right now. I don't know when I'm going to get this posted. I'm going to have to edit it first, but it's actually February 18th right now, and my last frost date is April 11th, I believe. I'm going to have to watch the weather closer to the date, obviously, like everybody does, but we're in a much higher elevation than where we lived previously, so I don't know how that's going to impact the weather. But I have a lot of exciting gardening things coming up. I'm really excited to have my own land that I can do my own thing on. It's not a ton of land, but it's mine. I can do what I want. So you guys just stay with me, stay tuned. Thank you so much for following along so far. Let me know in the comments below if you are a gardener, if you're going to try to grow something this year, maybe if you're a first-time gardener. I want to know where you guys are at with it and any questions you have that I might be able to help with, because my whole goal, I want to get people growing their own food. That's what I want people to take away from my page. And I have budgeting videos and all kinds of other stuff like that, but the part of my page that is the most near and dear to my heart is definitely the gardening and growing your own plants and preserving the things that you grow. That is the journey that I want to share with you guys, and I want you guys to share yours with me. So leave that in the comments down below, and you guys have a great day. Thanks.